Hello there, my darling dragon friends. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ariel. I am the Sassy Dragon. Thank you so much for being here. And today we are going to be talking about and reviewing the new version of Good Fortune by Viktor and Rolf, and that would be the Good Fortune Elixir Intense. All right, so this is obviously an eau de parfum. It's meant to be a new version of the original Good Fortune. I did review the original one. I was not crazy about it. The biggest reasons I didn't personally like it that much was because it ended up just being really strong perfumey. It was just kind of harsh overall. I think also the fennel note in it was a little bit funky, and I think a lot of people had the same experience. It almost came across with that pickly kind of note that some perfumes get when they are a little bit too high octave, or they're just not blended smoothly enough. So this is a brand new one. I have tried this on today, and I must say I do like it better than the original, but that may not be saying much because I didn't really like the original that much to begin with. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Here's the write-up for this one from the Fragrantica.com site, which I will include a link to below in the comment section. This is an amber floral fragrance that has been launched in 2023. Top note is incense, middle note is jasmine and solar notes. Base notes are bourbon vanilla, Palo Santo, and sandalwood. So this gets into maybe a deeper version, a little bit more vanillic. I'm going to go ahead and spray some of this on to refresh my memory. I personally wish there had been just a little bit more incense on the opening of this. I'm really not getting a whole lot. You smell it in the very, very beginning of this fragrance. And probably the worst part of the progression as it dries down is, I think, what is a combination of the Palo Santo and whatever the solar notes are considered to be, because something about those, it's a little sour, it's a little abrasive. It almost smells like a weird, not quite like a pickle, how some have the pickle. The original one definitely had that. This is almost more like a Woodsy, slightly medicinal multivitamin. It's just got that thing. It's abrasive for a little while, which I do not like about it. But that part does go away. So if you hang in there through that dry down of that part, it gets a lot nicer. The Palo Santo is not super strong. It's not. And I know what Palo Santo smells like because I'm a tarot reader. I burn Palo Santo all the time. And it's not very strong in this. I was expecting it to be a little more smoky, a little bit more, I don't know, gothy kind of energy, but overall, it really is not. And I'll tell you what perfume that this ends up smelling like to me, because it's very similar. It's not the same exactly, but it really has a similarity, and that would be the new Mugler Angel Elixir that came out earlier 2023. The big reason is because this has that same bourbon vanilla jasmine combination that is very prominent, and I would say Good Fortune, and it's funny, they used the same word elixir in the name of the perfume. And so what these end up having very much in common are that vanilla jasmine thing. And I think that that's really popular in perfume right now. The main difference, and I'll tell you, it's really preference. It's funny because when I first reviewed the Mugler Angel Elixir, I was kind of meh on it. But this one really grew on me. The more that I, was using my little bottle, I was like, this is actually a really nice fragrance. It's not unique. It's not special. It's not really like one of those it's not a true Mugler, because Mugler's no longer, making fragrance. He's, sadly passed away. Rest in peace to the greatness that he was and is. And Clarins, of course, is no longer making their perfume, so this is not what I consider a true Mugler, but nonetheless, I find it to be very nice in its simplicity. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of those like good all-purpose fragrances that I like to put on when I don't want anything too strong or too light. It's kind of a crowd pleaser. And the big difference in these two is that the Mugler Elixir Angel is much sweeter. It's a little sweeter than the Good Fortune. It has the pink pepper in the top. It still has the sandalwood. It shares those three notes, the sandalwood, the vanilla, the ambery thing, the jasmine-y thing. There's a real similarity between these two. With the Good Fortune, you're going to have it be a little less sweet, a little less vanillic. You don't have the pepper, obviously. That's the big difference. If you like pink pepper, which I really do enjoy in fragrances, I would say go for the Mugler Elixir, because you're still going to get that really strong jasmine, vanilla, amber, sandalwood business going on. But it doesn't have those more, I don't know, almost abrasive notes to me. Palo Santo is one of those notes that it's really hard to blend it smoothly because it is pungent in its way. It's a wood, right? It's a woodsy scent. And so I remember the Kaali Burning Cherry, that has the Palo Santo in it, but it tends to work a little better because cherry is already kind of tart. The Palo Santo is a little bit, you know, pungent, tangy like that, so they blend together pretty well. You would think that would make it too abrasive, but it actually worked a little bit better than I feel like it works in this. I think if they had maybe increased a little bit of the incense along with that and give it just a little bit more smokiness, I might have liked this more. Whatever the solar notes are in this, I think that's probably what makes it just a touch too abrasive to me. But on the whole, I do like this one better than the original Good Fortune. It's much easier to wear, but I do not get very much of the incense or the Palo Santo in the, you know, in the dry down. I'm talking like an hour into this. It really just turns into a jasmine vanilla fragrance with a little touch of that Palo Santo sandalwood under it. I wouldn't say this is a moderate longevity. I would say the same thing for the Angel Elixir. It's kind of like pick your poison. If you really like the jasmine vanilla, you know, combination, both of these have it. They both have the sandalwood. But the Angel Elixir is a little sweeter and more peppery. It doesn't have the woodsy notes. It doesn't have the Palo Santo. Which I think makes it more crowd pleasing. This is very smooth. It doesn't have that little tweak of that wood, and that's what probably would make me choose something like this over this. That's just my personal preference. But if you really like the Palo Santo note and that little bit of abrasiveness in the dry down doesn't bother you, then you'll probably enjoy this one more. But they are very similar because it's funny, they're both calling themselves an elixir. They've both got a very strong vanilla, jasmine, subtle sandalwood, amber thing going on. That's my take on Good Fortune Elixir. I do like it better than the original, but I still prefer the Mugler Angel Elixir if you're going to take a perfume that is like that. There's a lot of those out there right now. They're not necessarily very special. There's a lot of variations on this theme. Leave below in the comments maybe which one you like personally the most. And I will be talking to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.